It's every other Wednesday.
Play D&D on Wednesday. Hello and welcome to GutPunchRP, tabletop role-playing game channel on Twitch where we stream. You found us on Twitch probably, so welcome. Welcome back if you have been here before. Tonight we are playing Lost in the Wild, a D&D 5e Feywildy bullshit adventure, loosely based on Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So maybe spoilers, probably not though, because we're already like over there. What do we do? What are our things? Okay, we have sponsors. Our sponsor is Dungeons Gate, a local Midwest gaming store with a diverse selection of board and card games, TTRPGs, dice, minis, and gaming accessories, as well as sci-fi and fantasy books and graphic novels for all ages. You can go to their website and use the code GutPunchRP to get 10% off and any non-on-sale already items. That's a sentence. Yeah, but they're great, and you should definitely buy stuff from them. Also, we, like I said, raise money for charity. Our charity for this quarter session situation is the Transgender Law Center. The Transgender Law Center changes law, policy, and attitudes so that all people can live safely and authentically, regardless of how their gender identity or expression. And you can type !charity to learn more about them. The super cool prizes that we have that we're giving away for this are gigantic effing minis. You could win this balloon. Your donation of $1 enters you to win this beautiful swamp gas balloon. Kept aloft by farts. Also, these other minis. That's a different prize. Look at them. They're little guys. They're beautiful. All right. We also have a very special prize given to us. I'm going to take it out of the bag. Touch it with my little cursed dice hands.
Oh no.
Given to us and poured by the wonderful Justin, aka Amherst Dice, aka No Fame Podcast. I see No Fame in the chat. It is a little trans-colored die. It's beautiful.
Hell
it's super
yeah.
cute. And we will be giving that one away separately, maybe as part of something special we'll do during Pride Month. Probably
Nice.
just another battle royale. We'll discuss it. We'll workshop it. We'll bounce it back and forth. You monsters just love a battle royale. Okay. Is that all for announcement thingies? Yeah, sure. All right. Well, I am your GM this evening, and we will go around and have everybody say the name of their wonderful character this evening and who they are as well, I guess. We will start with... I will go from the top. Grayson.
From the top. Oh, hi. Yeah, hello. I am Captain Grayson. I will be playing Elio, your rogue for this evening.
All right, down to Dorse.
Hello, I'm Dorcius, or Dorse, and I am Kichiro, your non-lying monk friend.
All right, Nat.
Hello, I'm Natalie, Shield Maiden or Shield Maiden cosplay, and I'm playing Cobalt, the supposedly and to all appearances illiterate wizard.
Little fella. All right, D.
Hello, my lovely children of the dark. My name is Dee, and tonight I will be playing Veritas. He's having fun. It's gonna be a good time. He is a fighter sorcerer multiclass.
All right, Jess.
Hello, I am Jess or Jessica or Dr. Psychow on the things and the stuff. I will be playing the one, the only Despira Daz, Stargazer, the bardiest bard to ever bard.
Yes. Okay. All right, Sarah.
I am Sarah, Princess Lady Brill, and tonight I am playing Oravarin, a very excitable war cleric.
Who is super healthy right now, right?
Oh, yeah, she's the most healthy.
Just doing great.
Don't look
doing
too
great.
hard though.
Cough, cough. Just a little bit of blood.
Yeah, like limping a little bit. It's
Oh, poor baby. You'll be fine. You'll be
totally
fine.
fine.
I lost
Not
my
like-
correct window. Where is it? There it is. All right, here we go. Let's get this murder underway. Why, computer, would you do this to me? I mean, not murder. It's just a little thing. Okay, but we'll start off with a recap now that everyone has introduced themselves. So, the party has all come together from the band of adventurers who have all lost something, who came back into the circus to hopefully find it again, while having a few other weird tasks just laid upon them. And they're like, do we want to help these people? If it's on the way, maybe. So they're on track to do something. They've been poking around this carnival. Their poking has obviously not gone unnoticed, especially as they have collected various members of the carnival to also poke around with them. These members of the carnival are maybe trying to do a good deed and find a lost kitten. Maybe it's a little bit heavier than that. But they are here and they are trying to help our wayward adventurers through the mess that is the Witchlight Carnival. However, after making their way around the grounds, finding various little clues that all point them in the same direction, they find themselves under the bleachers at the Witchlight Carnival after failing to appeal to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light to just kind of help them out, just for fun. They met a Kenku who also gave them much of the same information they had got, that things had gone missing at this carnival, that people were disappearing alongside things that were maybe a little bit less tangible, like sense of direction or an ability to lie. But as they crawled out from under the bleachers, they were called out by Mr. Witch, who is an imposing man, especially as he strips himself down to his white undershirt tank top. He has like the body of like an Olympic power lifter, just kind of the real keg-like, wide-shouldered, kind of cracks his neck back and forth. As he begins to like motion to you, and you feel on your backside a few of the hands of the Witchlight Carnival cueing you all in and pushing you forward into the arena, which is what you see in front of you. The spotlight has come down and is illuminating only Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, who stand at this center. Mr. Light looks a little confused by this turn of events, as normally the spotlight should be on only him. But you know, he loves a good surprise, and the show must go on, so he has this huge smile as he kind of stands in this like frozen ballet dancer's pose. And Mr. Witch just begins his monologue again. As you are all sort of ushered into the arena, I'm just going to start putting you all in there as I disappear off the side of the screen, because I set myself up badly. Oh, look, we have one little guy. We have two little guys. Don't mind me, just over here invisible. That's the first three. Oh, God. Oh, God. Sorry to be the worst. This is a very small map, so Mathia is representing Daz, obviously, because that's like a one-for-one comparison, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you are all pushed
Same, right?
in to the arena, and you just kind of feel the gates close behind you, and the stands are rising, full of people still who think this is all part of the show, and they are cheering as you come face to face with this large Shadar-kai gray-skinned elf who sort of smiles at you and just begins. Well, I'm used to having guests poke around. Normally we just kick them out, but you seem to be a more persistent bunch than usual. Especially when you have help from people who I thought I could count on. And he's very much just looking at Veritas when he says people I thought I could count on. And just kind of shakes his head and goes, "Oh, that sense of responsibility, and you couldn't even keep yourself loyal to your home. After all we've done for you." And then he sort of turns and looks at Daz and goes, I liked you. I liked a criminal who knew how to keep his business in order. But you got nosy, and I can't stand a petty thief who's nosy.
Are you gonna continue, or like, I mean, are you just going through us one by one, or is this like,
Where are you
what's
going
the?
with this?
He turns. Now he's like, he gives you such a look, Daz. He turns and he kind of like lays his coat like gingerly across like something that on that like little center thing that just seems to make it like disappear. And he turns back and he's like, "You're right. That is just very melodramatic of me, and I do usually leave that up to Mr. Light. So, unless you have other options, I guess we can just start the show." And he just like brings his knuckles up and crack. What? Yeah, what?
I mean, there is another option. You could just let us leave, but just putting that out there.
You hear behind you like a couple of the Witchlight hands who are sort of holding you in, or just sort of chuckle.
It's an option.
Nah, that doesn't sound so much fun though. And like I said, I would love to have some fun.
I mean, you have a wonderful carnival, and I don't know if you've tried any of the games that you have here, but they're very, very fun. I think we could do that instead of whatever this is gonna be.
He's just like stretching out. He's doing like a full like calisthenic stretching routine in front of you all. He's like, some like Frankenstein's, a little bit of like high knees, and then he just goes, "I don't think so," and charges you, and we'll just roll initiative.
Okay. All right. We
Well, we
tried.
tried.
Yeah, you did. You tried. Mr. Light is just behind him like, we could have let them go. I do suppose it's more fun this way, though. Well, that's fun for you all. Why?
Oh no.
That's a little bit better. And that's a little bit worse. That's fine. It's fine. We don't have to talk about it. All right, let me get my note-taking thing open. Yeah. As he begins to charge you. Oh my god. Would you like to update your system right this exact second? No, thank you. All right. So as he begins to charge you, you see that he kind of has that thing where his knee hitches for a second in the way an old knee can and will when they're a little out of practice. And with that, 25 to 20.
23.
Oh, shit.
Get it, Leo.
All right. 19 to 15.
19.
Okay. That's cool. And that will be 14 to 10. Come on, guys. 10 to 5.
9.
All right.
6.
Y'all!
Oh. I just rewrite everything. All right, so it was Ori at 9. D was at 6.
Yep.
Oh, that's Veritas. And 7 was Daz.
5, but yes.
Oh, 5 was Daz. All right, so we are all lined up, and he is kind of like massaging
Did you
his.
put me last?
Nope,
I rolled a 1.
Oh, just a
Oh.
glass, like a natural one.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
no. Oh, Kichiro.
Okay, look at you. Okay.
Oof.
And then we have these guys up here. We got Barney's. Okay, and at the top of the order we have Elio. So you have just seen Mr. Witch take a big step forward, and then his knee sort of catches. He's like, "Oh, well, I guess you'll get the first step then." And he just like kind of shoots his head up and looks at you.
Yeah, that's real unfortunate. He will kind of run and put himself in between himself and everybody.
All right, just like right in front of Mr. Witch.
Yeah.
All right, Elio with the yellow base right there. So you are now within melee, obviously.
Yes, and then you kind of see like a faint glow come from him, from like you're looking at him from behind, and there's like kind of a weird glow in front of him. But he will say to Mr. Witch, what exactly was their offense again? Is there some way we could come to a compromise instead of doing any of this?
Roll a persuasion check.
Sure. Okay. Persuasion. 22.
22. All right. So he kind of pauses as you have interposed yourself between him and like everyone else. And he kind of turns to look at the crowd and does like a wide like circle and puts his arms out. People of this lovely enclave. Didn't come up with a town name. I have friends in front of me asking for a little mercy. Asking that we stay at your entertainment. And just let them go. And the crowd sort of starts that little like boo from the back to the front sort of thing. That's what I think too. And he kind of like looks back at you and he goes, now, maybe I can make it a little bit fairer. I won't even go this turn. I will take a seat and just let you deal with some friends of mine. And he walks away, and it's not going to be an attack of opportunity, but he will just kind of go up on the stage, and both him and Mr. Light, like, stools just appear, and they both just take a seat. And they go, well, you better do something very showy and convincing. Mr. Light just chimes in, very showy and convincing. If you want us to let you into the Fey realm? And the crowd just kind of gives that low, like, ooh. And kind of behind them, like next to that table, a sort of like illusory mirror appears and sparkles across. And that's kind of like what they are using as the door to the Fey realm. And you kind of get like a little bit of sparks flying from one of the witchlight hands off the side of the stage. So, you know, you can maybe convince them, but you really got to put on a show. And anything else, Elio?
I don't know if you'll let him do it, but as a bonus action, can he take out a knife from like his boot, and the table that's kind of further behind them, can he like chuck a blade between them to like put on a show?
Yes, absolutely. All right, what do we want that to be? I mean, a performance or an intimidation check?
Okay. We're gonna go performance.
All right.
Okay. 12.
12. All right, so you throw it, and it goes between them. It's a very above average skillful throw, but it kind of does the thing where it like hits the table wrong and sort of like sticks a little awkwardly and is coming downward at an angle a bit. And Mr. Light lets out like just a little bit of like a tinkling laugh because they've seen you do better.
Mm.
Which will then bring us to Cobalt.
Okay. I think Cobalt will just take like a little bit of a step forward. Oh, just like one square up.
Okay.
And she has found a specific page in her spellbook. And she's just gonna kind of glaring over at these two. She's be like, all right, fine. Well, if it's a show you want. And she'll just kind of like dramatically like slam the book shut, and with that, cast Shatter right on top of the two of them.
Oh, okay. Oh, escalating it. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. All right. What is Shatter? What do I do? What do I roll?
It is a 10-foot radius sphere, which is just going to be centered on the two of them, so it'll only catch them and not any of the party.
Okay.
But it is going to be a Constitution saving throw from the two of them.
Constitution saving throw. Great. What is that? What does it have to be?
As a 13 DC. Not that good yet.
Mr. Witch will pass. Mr. Light will not.
Boo. Okay, well that works. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. All right. Making sure there wasn't any like throwing them in a particular direction thing with this one. There is not. That's Thunderwave I was thinking of. Okay. So the one that failed will take 15 points of thunder damage, and the other one will take half. So 7.
All right. And as this, the air just sort of crackles and explodes around them, Mr. Light very dramatically falls to his knees, grabbing both sides of his head, still like clutching the Witchlight cane to his ear, or vein, to his ear, and just very high-pitched, like wailing, piteous noises as this has just rung through his head, but he is also being a little dramatic.
Oh, come on. I know that didn't hurt that bad.
Woe is you, you shall pay! As they kind of like get up and do like a flip and like land on top of the stool that they were previously like sitting on.
Also, any non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage if it's in the spell's area. So I don't know how that applies to other parts of the big top, but...
I don't think there's nothing else besides that little stage in there, right?
Okay. Oh yeah, everything else is a little bit further out. Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, and the stage is...
All right, fair enough.
All right, anything else for you?
No, that's it for me.
Right. So, as this, as the air shatters around Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, there's sort of like murmuring of excitement from the crowd, but you kind of see that that was a signal like directly going after Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, and a few more carnies sort of appear around the edge, sort of coming out of this box and unfolding herself. A contortionist just comes to Light right there and just pauses that far from you for a moment, and let me pull up the correct step.
Damn, I wouldn't have reached that box. Damn it. Damn it.
She is going to go ahead, and just from where she is, sort of one of the moons that adorns her leotard, she takes it off and just chucks it and throws it like a dagger at... she'll throw it at you, Cobalt, since you just heard her bosses.
That's fair.
All right.
That makes sense.
That'll be 17 on the die to hit. Yeah.
Yeah, shield can't even help me with that. Yeah.
Oh, little buddy.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I rolled a 1 on the dice, so 3 points of piercing damage to you as she has done that, and she will kind of, in that weird, like, spider-like way contortionists do, she kind of crawls down off the box and just perches behind it and waits. All right, and then after that, we have coming in from the other side and sort of clambering up. This is gotta walk all the way over here, clambering up to the top of this thing. Hopefully this works. You have a Kenku in Motley who just climbs up to the top of the tightrope, and just like the contortionist kind of perches and looks, and he will take a dagger out and he will whip it at who's in front? Elio. Yeah, he'll whip it at Elio.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're out here, you're just consorting with the enemy, getting your bosses shattered. 13 plus
I'm not
4 to
sorry.
hit. 17 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay. So that will be 5 points of piercing damage, as from up here he just takes a little tiny throwing knife and it just sticks into your shoulder.
Right.
All right, and then we got those 2 little guys, and then a hush falls over the crowd as the carnies sort of like have the spotlight fall on them individually as they make their attacks. And that will bring us to Ori with the bad
Okay.
guy deck.
Okay. Well, looking at all of this that's going on, I think my allies might need a little help. I also might need a little help, so muttering to herself a soft prayer to Tyr, she is going to cast Aid. And Elio, Cobalt, and myself will get 5 temporary.
Nice.
You
Oh,
can
thank you.
add 5 temp HP to the thing, and then I'm just gonna be like, I didn't really want to fight, but let me know if you need any if the hits get a little too strong, okay? And that'll be my turn.
All right. So all of you and your comrades sort of glow with this otherworldly magic for a moment, as the 2 in the center are still sort of recovering themselves after the attack from Cobalt. And Mr. Witch is sort of standing up from his stool and dusting himself off and just like rolling his shoulders back, as now he's a little upset. And he goes, well, that's not very sporting. And he will go ahead and cast Firebolt. That one. At what? Oh, that's an at will. I was like, what is this? Okay. So yeah, he is going to cast a Firebolt and go ahead and try and hit. Elio's in front and was talking to him when he got shattered, so Elio again. Run, little buddy.
You will.
Alright, well, this might not hit, though. It is going to be, 10. It's only 10.
Is there a 2 hit?
That's the 10 to hit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he just kind of raises his hand, and from sort of where the watch is in his pocket, a little bit of energy coalesces around his arm, and he fires off this firebolt, and it just kind of grazes past you a little bit, like cinches your beautiful locks, and bursts against the back of the tent. All right, and that is that guy's turn, and we will then be at Veritas with Daz on deck. Finally, the characters.
Fantastic. Veritas is going to shrug off his cloak and stand at his actual full height of about 6'10". And I will set down the lantern that I carry for me everywhere. It's this lantern. I actually have it painted by my love. and I will just set it down, and it will start playing music of its own accord. And my two smaller hands will produce two hand axes, while my primary hands have a longbow. So, which one do I want to do first?
Oh my goodness.
Let's start with the hand axes. I will chuck a hand axe at Mr. Witch.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes. That is a 16 hit.
That'll hit.
Cool. And he is going to take 6 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And then since that was a light weapon, I will use my bonus action to chuck another one. Two weapon fight. That one is much worse. That's an 8.
That will not hit.
Fantastic. And then I want to use all 30 of my movement. Just get as close to him as possible.
All right. I think with 30 you could even go like around back if you wanted to. Or you want to be in
Yeah.
front? All right.
No, let's go around the back of him.
You want to be behind Mr. Light or Mr. Witch?
Mr. Witch, please.
Right, so you're right there behind him, just kind of flashing around the little stage that they are standing on and coming up to just... You're not really looming over him because he's up one step above you, but you are breathing down his neck, and he was not expecting you to get that far that fast.
And I will say to him, I'd like to file a complaint about our working conditions. And that is my turn.
Yeah, chuckles dangerously in his chest. That will bring us to Daz, which with Kichiro on deck.
Oh. Is it entertainment that you want? And electricity begins to spark from Daz's fingertips, going and shooting up the guitar as we, the audience, hear arguably one of the most iconic D-drop riffs from Rage Against the Machine as I start to play Killing in the Name of as my bonus action. I would like to go ahead and use one of my bardic inspirations on myself to subtract 5 from this saving throw as I cast on Mr. Witch, who is the big guy, right?
Yeah, he's the bigger one.
Crown of Madness. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Sorry, Crystal, what? Okay, fine, that's fine.
And it's -5 on that wisdom saving throw.
Okay, all right. Believe in the power of the dice.
They always serve you so well.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah. No.
No? Okay.
No.
And Daz just cuts a big, toothy, white grin, looks at him and says, now you'll do what I tell you. And,
is that a charm effect?
that is indeed a charm effect.
Let me just roll one more die real quick.
Actually, he would have advantage, but the lantern begins to glow in rhythm with Daz's thing. I'm going to use my feature as a reaction, Restore Balance, and I will negate his advantage.
Okay.
So now, these glowing thorns grow out around his head. His eyes begin to glow, and almost as if with madness, he now must use his action before moving on his turn to make a melee attack against a creature I choose.
Okay. Does that take effect immediately?
It takes effect immediately, I
All right.
believe. But it's on his turn. So. And then on subsequent turns, it will also be in effect as long as I maintain concentration.
All right. Good to know.
If he takes damage, he can repeat he repeats the save at the end of his turn, and Doesn't say anything about damage, just repeats it at the end.
All right.
Oh, and I'll also like kind of move maybe like 10 feet just to spread us out a little bit.
10 feet, just to spread you out a little bit. Would you like to go around over here?
Yeah.
All right, taking Mathia, knocking over benches, doing Mathia stuff. Boop, boop. All right, which brings us then to Mr. Light's turn. Sorry, I forgot him. And then Kichiro. Okay, but Mr. Light, now having seen that you have ensorcelled his longtime companion, is going to go ahead and turn to where you are, Daz, and come across this way. No, it's just gonna run right up to you, Daz, and smack the Witchlight vein across your face in rage, screaming in a high-pitched manner as he avenges his injured comrade. So he is going to go ahead and try and hit you. 11 to hit.
Unfortunately, that will miss.
Okay, and then on his backhand, he is bringing the Witchlight vein back towards your face once more. For 18 to hit this time.
That will hit.
All right, so you are going to take 7 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of radiant damage.
Ooh.
As
All right. As a reaction, Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, Hellish Rebuke. Do I save? Is that right?
Yes, dexterity saving throw.
A dexterity saving throw. I believe in this die. Oh, that is 16 to save.
16 will save, so you'll take half.
All right. So he just sort of leans away as fire begins to pour out from wherever it pours out of onto you.
So that is reduced to 5. So it's 10 reduced to 5.
All right. And he is still just like drawing back the Witchlight vein to hit you again, as you have just so terribly injured his beloved Mr. Witch. Which will then... That was the reaction. That was Mr. Light's turn. He's already up in your face. That will bring us to Kichiro.
Well, this isn't scary at all. Let's see. Okay, you two got that handled. There's the one in the back that got out of the box. Then there's the Kenku at the top. How tall is the pole that the Kenku's sitting on?
I do believe it is supposed to be 20 feet tall. I think I measured that correctly.
20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never good with D&D and jumping. Like, how do I think about my jump height?
Monk shit? Another GM.
think-
How do you jump?
I think it's you can do 10 feet
10.
for
10.
your strength, and then you can add. It's been a long
See.
time since I've had to do.
Yeah, they made this
something.
complicated. Like,
I mean,
we'll
it
skip
is
that
also a pole with a ladder. Like, people have to be able to get up
Okay.
there. So it's
okay.
if
Well,
you climb the
heck.
ladder, you would be able to get up there without using
Okay.
like an agility
Okay.
roll. But like, if you want to get all the way to the top, just Pythagorean theorem wise, you might
Right.
have to do like an agility sort of thing.
Gotcha. You know what? I was feeling silly, so why not? I'll burn a key point and I will use Step of the Wind. So that way
All right,
I
so
can
you will-
dash and double my jump.
Yeah, you're up there pretty much with him. You're like right below him. Are you trying to attack him, trying to push him off? It's a platform with room for one human.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull him off the platform.
All right, let's do a contested... I mean, it'd be a contested strength roll.
Okay.
What's my Witchlight hand? Ooh, okay, I believe in this. Ooh, a 12?
Natural 20.
Okay, yeah, so you grab this dude by the ankles and just sort of like anime fling him off, and he crashes into the heavy canvas of the big top and just sort of slides down. And he'll take a couple points of damage for his fall, but you are now, you want to be up on top of that thing?
Sure.
All right, you are up on top, and this guy is prone on the ground down below after his terrible fall. Please stay there, Kichiro. All right. Anything else for your turn? I think that's...
I think that's everything.
All right. Let me just mark down. He is going to be number 2, and he took... Okay. So he's sort of like writhing on the ground right now as you are now perched up there, like looking down at him like... that will bring us back to the top of the order. So we are up with Elio once again. They have moved away from you a little bit, but it seems like things might have gotten off the rails.
A little, slightly.
A little, yeah.
But that's fun. So he'll run over to where Daz and Mr. Light are.
All right. Do you want to do a flank?
Yeah.
All right, as you slide in with your co-worker, you've worked together long enough where you can do a little advantage on attack rolls.
Nice. He, again, that kind of weird glow will come from him, and out of nowhere, he kind of pulls a blade into his hand, and he'll say to Mr. Light, "I've got it wrong. Wanderers should never be loyal." And he's gonna stab Mr. Light.
All right.
That is a... That is a +5 to hit. So that is a 21. Sorry. That is a 21.
That will hit as you come around behind Mr. Light and stab out with your magical knife.
Cool. He gets sneak attack on that as well?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, just fuck him up.
Where's the other D? So that's 12 points of damage.
Right.
And as this kind of happens, the blade disappears, and then in the other hand, another one appears, and he's going to try to stab him again.
All right.
That is a 20 to hit.
That will also hit.
And that is 9 points of damage.
Okay. How do you do math? There we go. All right. Anything else?
No, that's everything.
Stabbing away. All right. So we have Cobalt right now on the game.
All right, cool. Okay. I am going to... Yeah, that'll work. That'll do. I'm gonna go ahead and cast a Witch Bolt at Mr. Witch, Mr. Witch is the one who's still in the middle.
Yep,
by
still on the
Veritas.
platform.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool, great. Aiming for him.
Right.
And that is... This one is on me. I roll for this one. Let's see. Okay.
For that last attack, it was 6, not 9, because I had to be a D4, not a D6.
Cool.
And I rolled.
All right, we'll do. So we gotta go 40. Gotta do math. That's a 38. Okay.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes, a 15 will hit.
Excellent. Okay. Oh shit, I need a D12. I never use those. They're here somewhere. There we go. That's what they look
Time for
like.
the big dice.
Big damage.
Or I could roll a 4.
Also good.
Any damage was good damage.
Big
So
is
that's-
relative.
So there's now like an arc of lightning, like just like lancing out like from like Cobalt did like one of the like finger guns, and now it's going like between her, just like this sustained lightning at Mr. Witch. But I am gonna go ahead and take cover behind that crate.
Alright, what was the damage on that?
Oh, it was only 4. 4 lightning.
Just 4 plus nothing.
4 plus nothing.
Alright, he's kind of standing there, and he just sort of like looks at this little beam of energy that's now connecting you as you dive behind this box over here. Dive. And you know, if you're like actually crouching down, you can have like a little bit of cover, just like
I am
+1 to that.
absolutely doing that.
+1 to AC while you're crouched behind there.
Cool. Thanks.
I mean, not from the Kenku. Well, he's on the ground now. Probably from the Kenku also. He's having a rough day. All right. Anything else, Cobalt?
No, that's it for me.
All right. So that brings us back to the Carnies. So the girl who climbed out of the box and then climbed behind it is going to kind of do the same thing that you did, Elio, and come over here and attack you more close.
Valid.
Gotta get that guy. And is going to just go ahead and stab you with the knife, just like you did her boss, which obviously very upset about. That'll be a 22 to hit.
Yes.
Just definitely getting a bonus. For 6 points of piercing damage as she just slashes out with another one of those sharp little moons off of her costume. Is that all for her? That will be her turn. Indeed. And the Kenku, who is down on the ground, will use half of his movement to get up and then sort of look up above him, look down at the 2 people over there, and just try and make himself as small as possible. Oh no. Behind that post. As
You be careful with that mini.
As he goes, he will whip a knife straight up into the air at Kichiro to push him off of here.
Well,
He's like, not taking none of your shit today. Maybe. Ooh, he's taking some shit. He only rolled an 8 to hit. So as he like throws the knife straight up, it just kind of catches in the platform that you are standing on, and you just see like the little tip of it come through, and you're like, ooh. And that will be his turn. Poor little fella, just having a rough day. All right, and as the sort of crowd is like murmuring again with excitement as this has gone around once, 2 more Witchlight hands step out from various places. One, Candlefoot the Mime, coming up right behind where you all entered, Ori. That's not close enough right there. And will do just the worst creepy mime thing and tap you on the shoulder when you did not hear him come in at all. And he just sort of like makes a wall, stands there for a second, pretends he has a knife, and then just shanks you from like around behind the wall.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. It feels so good.
A natural 20.
Wow. It's fine.
So it's going to be... Oh, okay. 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
You're so injured. And then he will just like pull the knife back and pretend to put the wall back up. And that will be his turn. But from the other side, sort of like appearing behind this table and stepping out from over here, is that very angry cooking clown from earlier, who just sort of glumps out like he's having the worst day in the service industry and goes, ugh. And then he sees that Veritas is involved in this fight and sort of perks up and just throws a knife at you as hard as he can.
Sounds
that fucking guy. which probably will not hit because it's only a 11.
Will not.
All right. You kind of turn at the last moment and are just able to like deflect with one of your pauldrons the little blade that comes flying at you. And that will then bring us to Ori with Mr. Witch on deck.
Okay. Oh, this show's very interactive. I'm gonna go ahead and bonk, turn and face this mime who just tried to shank me, who successfully shanked me, and bonk him for a 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Cool. And of course I rolled a 1, so 2 points of bludgeoning damage. There, and then I would like to bonus action summon my spiritual weapon.
Uh-oh. All right, go right ahead.
And I would like it to appear opposite Veritas on Mr. Witch.
All right. Is this a spiritual weapon? That's not a spiritual weapon at all. That's also not one. Well, this clear thing is going to be your spiritual weapon. It's a clear man-shaped thing, but
It manifests as this friend I once had. It manifests as the creepy lady that I'm still not over. You can't acknowledge it.
So sort of like furling together out of this beautiful magical energy, a little like ghastly, a little girl with overly long legs in a pig mask is just standing there in front of Mr. Witch, who kind of gets this knowing smile on his face and looks over the top of her head at you, Ori, as you attack.
Not on this turn. Next turn.
Okay.
This turn is just summoning it.
I don't know how D&D works. All right, which is Mr. Witch, who has just seen this terrible form kind of summon in front of him, and sees Ori sort of pointing, and looks over at Veritas on one side of him and the spiritual weapon on the other, and just kind of clicks his tongue a few times. It goes, I think I'd be better off a little further away. And he will just sort of swirl in his spot and disappear, and with his blessings of the Raven Queen, he will swoop and go up to the top of this. Looking very large, as both of his large feet are sort of on this teeny tiny little platform. He will then, looking down, what is this? Looking down at the person, looking down at Veritas, who was standing right behind him and who he just disappeared from in front of, he will turn and try and fire another firebolt at Veritas. For 18 to hit.
Just barely hits.
Just barely hits. What is that? That is a D10. What's a D10 look like? A dice. That's probably it. Oh, for 10 points of fire damage.
Yep.
And he just sort of like gives you this like very like cocky smile from where he is perched, feeling good about himself now that he's a little bit literally above everything that's happening. Which brings us to you, Veritas, with Daz on deck.
Fun. I'm going to use my free object interaction to pick up one of the axes. I would assume that they're on the ground nearest to me, since that's where he was and I threw them at him. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'll pick up one of them, and I'll chuck one at the bastard.
All right, go right ahead.
That is a 15 to hit.
All right, 15 will hit.
Fantastic. And that is 5 points of slashing damage.
So the axe comes through and sort of hits him, but it almost seems like there is something sort of around him, shielding him, and he only takes half the damage.
Interesting. Annoying, but interesting. Veritas will just sort of like look up and then just pause for a full second and then just go, huh. And I will use a bonus action. I'm going to second wind.
All right.
Ow.
All right. Second winding.
Yeah.
Are you moving or you staying put?
I'm going to be doing a couple of things still.
Oh.
So I'm going to heal 5. Then I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
Yes.
And I am going to sort of like just mutter under my breath to myself and say, well, let's try something a little heavier than an axe this time. And I will fire the like gnarled, almost carapace-like longbow that I always carry, and I'll fire that at him.
Whoop.
That's a natural 20. Haha. Get away from me, will you, motherfucker? We'll see about that.
The arrow simultaneously seems to strike very deeply, but also that same energy seems to peel back some of it as it almost finds a hole in a shield.
Okay, so that is 13 points of piercing damage. I am not trying to kill this man. I don't know what his health points are looking like, but
He's still looking okay, and he is going to take, what was half of 7 points of damage?
yeah.
So it does a little bit less than you would like it to, and he's still just giving you a very knowing smile over the top of his folded hands across his pain.
Fun. I'd like to maintain eye contact with him and drag my axe along the ground as I approach Mr. Light then.
Okay, all right. So you are coming up over here. You want to come bedside, or you want to sneak up between the little contortionist and the fool?
I'd like to cast a shadow over the contortionist as well. Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're going up over here, and you'll be right there then. Right in his face. Little guy's surrounded.
Too bad there's no one to help him. Oh no.
Oh no.
And that is my turn.
That is your turn. All right. So that brings us to Daz.
Okay. So I will looking and seeing what is afoot here. I will sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just stay exactly where we are. I will bonus action. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I will look up at Mr. Witch lording above us, and we'll again start playing on my guitar, and just kind of like in a very driving riff. He'll reduce this next save by 4, as almost this like magical energy starts coming off the guitar, and I would love for him to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. He can do that. He probably can't do that. Ooh. And you were attacking Mr. Witch, correct?
Correct.
Intelligence saving throw. Oh, 18.
With the -4.
18 minus 4.
Okay,
14.
so oh shit, he's still safe. Damn it. Okay. I don't think this does anything. Yeah, so this doesn't end up doing anything. So this like magic starts to come from the guitar and tries to create the illusion of a gelatinous cube around him. However, he can tell that it is not real and that it is magical.
He sort of like smiles and looks down at you, Daz, goes, I always did like your tricks. Which brings us to Mr. Light, who finds himself surrounded by all these unsavory characters. I cannot believe this. And he sort of turns to Veritas. This is the wrong Mr. This is Mr. Light. He will turn to Veritas and reach out and be like, I think you should buy the coop. And he's just sort of giggles and he's going to cast Polymorph on you.
Oh dear.
Damn, we're not high enough level for it yet. Damn it!
Which is, what does Polymorph use as the save? Wisdom 13.
Like Kingdom for a counter spell.
Well, I don't know that a 2 is equal to 13.
So you, in your giant 6'10" form, just kind of fold in on yourself, and you become some sort of bird? It's a bird. It's a parrot. It's an owl. It's a very colorful owl. It looks like a Lisa Frank owl is really what it is. Which is unfortunate. Because now
I like
you are
to think
just...
that the eyes are still insectoid, though. So it's just like this monster of an owl, yeah.
But
So
yes,
glittery and somehow leopard print at the same time.
Absolutely. Plus, it's got like the little feathery thing, so it's just a whole
Stunning.
pattern nightmare. But yeah, you are now an owl. You have been transformed into an owl with your, flying speed of 60 feet and your 1 hit point of owl. That all of Mr. Light's turn? Do I want to do anything else? I feel like I'm very surrounded and it doesn't feel very good. Oh, goodness. That's probably it, though. That seems like a pretty good turn. That seems all right. Yeah, he has now turned someone into a bird, and he is just sort of giggling at his own, just great thing that he did. And the crowd's going wild for this one. They're like, you just turned a dude into a bird! And that will bring us then, of course, to Kichiro, and then back to the top with Elio.
Ooh. All right. I won't pick on the Kenku anymore, but I have 40 feet of movement. Is that enough to cross the tightrope?
I mean, I'll go with yes, for sure. Well, definitely yes. I would say let's have you make an acrobatics check to see if you stay on the tightrope all the way across.
Of course you would. Of course you would. That's 8.
Oh no. I was looking for the little thing to put you up in the air, but what happens is you make it about halfway and fall.
Oh.
So you are now on the ground. You managed to sort of you're a monk, so you felt yourself sort of slip, regained your footing, slipped again, and then the rope started doing the bouncing thing, and you just kind of
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Slack line fell off of it, but landed on your feet. So we'll say you used 30 feet of your movement in this endeavor.
Whew. Look, I made it.
Ta-da!
Okay, so who's in that line order of people right there? That's
Going this way, you have Contortionist, you have Elio, you have Mr. Light. This is Daz, as played by Mathia, and then you have an owl that just appeared.
oh
Who knows?
god. Okay, so I'm within range of the contortionist.
What's
Or
that?
am I looking at that backwards?
Yeah, you're in the range of the Contortionist.
Sweet. Who will totally make it look like he meant to fall off of that and draw out his sigh, and then just attack the contortionist.
All right, go right ahead.
That is 21.
21 will absolutely hit.
Sweet. Oh, that's a bummer. Only 3 points. Bludgeoning.
So you just punch this Contortionist, this very like slight, small, moon face, like ethereal looking person, just right in the face, and they just kind of like and cover their nose as like a trickle of blood falls across their like perfect white moon makeup. Anything else?
Yeah. Yes, I'll burn my last key point
Okay.
to do flurry of blows.
All right, so you're just laying into this poor little moon-faced maiden.
Oh, you say it like that. Now I sound like terrible.
She stabbed me.
She's
right.
out here stabbing people.
Oh, all right. Hit them again then. All right. Okay. So that will be 17.
That will hit.
Okay. And then that D4 failed me. That one didn't land in the box. That one also failed me. That's another 3 points.
All right. As you hook across, you do 3 more points of damage. Is there another blow in that flurry of?
Yes,
blow?
there is. 14?
14 will hit. And how would
Okay.
you like to knock out this contortionist who stabs people?
So let's see here. Already did like 1, 2. As he like swings around after the second punch, he's just gonna swing around and do a back kick to their stomach.
Yeah, and they just they get kicked, and they literally just kind of like in this very like exaggerated sort of kung fu movie style fly backwards, almost as though they're being pulled out of the tent, and disappear through the canvas, but they are off the field. And that brings us back to the top with Elio.
Keep stabbing at Mr. Light.
Go right ahead. You can stab him right in his soft parts, I'm sure.
21 to hit.
That will hit.
That is. That's 7 points of damage.
Okay, sounds good. What does that do? That is...
And then... Sorry, continue.
Go ahead.
Okay. And then will kind of... That blade disappears again and kind of reappears. And he's going to take another swing.
All right.
Nope. That's a 10, so misses this time.
That will not. Mr. Light is still just like light enough on his feet where he sort of slides himself out of the way as the second knife kind of comes in. But he's definitely looking a little rough. He's like disheveled. His leotard has like rips in it, and there's like blood on the white parts, and the red parts look maybe a little damp as well. And he just has sort of this very like wide-eyed, cornered animal sort of look to him. Whereas Mr. Witch is just up on his pole, just having a nice time. Anything else, Elio?
Elio will look down over at Veritas and be like, "Oh." And that is
All right. Which brings us to Cobalt with the Carnies on deck and Ori after them.
Well, Cobalt's gonna just keep on concentrating on that witch bolt, at least for a bit. And so, this time it's 12 points of lightning damage.
And that is Mr. Witch, correct?
Correct.
Okay, 12 points, and that
He
is
is
going to be
just barely still in range.
Oh yeah, I can just move out of range. I always forget about that one.
Not so fast.
All right. Yeah. So he just gets electrocuted, and he's like, "Oh,
Sure do.
forgot about that."
Yeah. I am gonna move a little closer to keep him in range.
All right. So do you want to go in front of the box, behind the stage, or just like stick to the wall a little bit more?
I'm going to go closer to the stage. Yeah, put myself more in the middle of the ring. So kind of like just to the right of the spiritual weapon.
All right, you are standing next to this very creepy spiritual weapon that is just kind of doing like zombie animated movement. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right, then we are on to some carnies, and we have this poor Kenku who has fallen and had a rough day already, who is thinking about his life choices, but is going to kind of sneak around back here and flank right there. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
She's fine. You're fine, Ori.
If it's rolling with advantage, please do not.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna use my thing again. I'm gonna use my second charge of it to take the advantage away from the attack. Hopefully that helps.
I mean, did it? That will be 17 to hit.
Meets it, beats it.
Okay. So they're just stabbing, though. So they are going to do 6 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
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 You're still there. You're good.
Still up. Not looking great, but still up.
Okay. All right. And he just kind of clicks his beak fiercely in your face. And after he stabs you, he sort of opens his mouth and lets out the sound of a crowd cheering to celebrate for his victory in this one instance. He's just trying to get his joy where he can after falling and stuff. All right, and then who do we have? We have Candlefoot, who's on the other side of you, who has already stabbed you, and will pretend that he is opening a door in his window and try and stab you again. Is this one okay to do with advantage?
Yes, I only have 2 charges of that.
Oh, well, that's great. Great. 12 to hit?
Does not hit.
Yeah. He sort of pretends to stab through this window, and then pretends that his knife crumpled against the glass. And then just kind of pulls it back and just shrugs. And the Kenku sort of clicks his beak angrily and opens his mouth. And in the voice of Mr. Witch goes, "Get your ass back to work, Mom." And that will be that guy's turn. So then we still have Thaco, the angry cooking clown, over in the corner back here, who will go ahead and come up behind Kichiro and he will stay slightly further behind. He'll kind of walk in the most leisurely, I'm on my break fashion over behind this box. And he's kind of taking out a very dirty knife. You can tell he was using this during his shift earlier, and just kind of throws it at Kichiro as he goes. For 13 to hit?
That barely hits.
Okay, so he threw this dagger at you. It was a little greasy. It was a little off-center. And it catches you in the arm for 5 points of piercing damage.
I would like to use my reaction to deflect missile.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes.
let me roll this d10 and
Nice,
reduce
nice,
this
nice.
damage. Hopefully, I would reduce the damage taken by 11 points. If it reduces it to 0, I
Yeah.
catch the knife.
Do you throw it back or no? Is that too early?
No, I don't have any key points left to throw it back, but
Okay.
I can catch the knife.
He sort of like grumbles and spits on the ground and sort of ducks down a little bit behind this box, but it's like his hat, his wings, his like shoulders and torso are like sticking out on both sides. Like he's a large clown. All right, and that was that guy, and you already killed that poor contortionist, which will then bring us to Ori with Witch on deck.
Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on myself and take 9 points of healing because that seems smart. And then I'm gonna bring my spiritual weapon over to come and attack this here mime, please.
The mime, all right. So your spiritual weapon just kind of turns and horror movie floats with its toes touching the ground towards Candlefoot the mime. And what would roll to
Roll to
attack?
hit.
Yeah.
That is plus my spellcasting modifier or spell attack +4. That is a 13 to hit.
That will just hit this
Hey!
poor mime who's doing nothing but acting his heart out.
He will take a whopping 6 points of force damage.
All right. So you slam him in the face, and he just kind of like looks absolutely stunned as he is like badly bloodied by this one hit, and just has like blood like pouring out of his nose and has that like stunned, lightly concussed look someone gets when they are hit in the head. All right. That is Candlefoot the mime. That's anything else for your turn?
Nope, because I don't want to risk an opportunity attack. So I'll stay right here.
All right, so that is on a race. We got this guy. This person's gone. Okay, sounds good. And we are on to Mr. Witch, who is up on top of here on his little perch. Just seeing you beat up on his dear friend, his roommate, his companion, if you will. In case we're not picking up
They were
what's being put
roommates.
down here.
Oh my god, they
Friend in the archaeological sense.
Exactly.
were.
That's the wrong dude. I was like, wait, what? All right, and he is going to go ahead and just sort of click his tongue and be like, Mr. Lat, you do like to get in trouble. And he's... Wait, that's a touch spell, isn't it? Let me just double check. He is going to say, Mr. Lat, you do like to get in trouble. And drop straight down over to here. Probably take some damage. I'll roll for that. And touch Mr. Lat, and Mr. Lat will go invisible.
Rude.
Pretty sure that's cheating.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Totally. We got an invisible orc to substitute for him as he disappears from ye old man. All right. That will be Mr. Witch's turn as he now sort of looms over Elio as he has landed right next to you and sort of rolls his shoulders back and just smiles and is like, not the worst show I've ever seen, but it better get more impressive in the second act. And that will bring us to Veritas.
I was gonna make a joke about clucking, but I'm an owl, so I don't do that either. I will instead Daz is going after me, correct? Who's left in the turn order out of my compatriots? Daz and Kichiro?
Mhm.
Yep.
I will fly over to Kichiro
All right.
and give him the help action on whomever he attempts to attack next.
Sweet.
All right. So you recognize Kichiro as a friend and sort of go over and like land on their shoulder head region.
Veritas?
Just pecking at your hair, pulling on it.
Just like very slow, quiet nod and like slow blink.
Okay then. We got this.
All right. So the owl is now with you, and that will bring us to Daz with Light coming up next.
All right. Gonna try it once more with Mr. Witch. I'll use the last of my bardic inspiration to make this next save be reduced by 4. And the guitar riff is playing, and Daz will do this like kind of motion that is a little bit of a body roll with like the back leg, kind of doing like a ball change with the back leg shooting back with a body roll, and then repeat it twice. And then we'll just go up and whisper to Mr. Witch, beat it. And then the voice echoes of beat it, beat it, beat it. As I cast Dissonant Whispers, and I need him to make me a wisdom saving throw. A 10? That'll fail. So so he takes 8 points of psychic damage.
All right.
And he that eats his reaction
Okay.
to, I believe it's that one, right?
I think he has to run away.
Yeah, it eats his reaction to use his move.
So you must run from wherever you are, correct?
Yes.
All right. So he's going to go straight that way. Is it he provokes an
And
opportunity attack?
He will provoke opportunity attacks from myself and Elio because it is not forced movement. It is his reaction.
Will he
And
run
whoever else he passes.
Yeah, will
right?
he run in a
Yes,
straight
and
line?
anybody he passes. Yep.
Yeah, so that's all 4 of you. You want to just start
Nice.
railing on him.
Hell
Huge.
yeah.
Huge.
Shit, do I even have any weapons? I think I do.
Just slap him as he
Toss
runs
Oh, yeah.
by.
So
I'm a librarian.
that'll be an 18 to hit on my
That will hit.
opportunity attack. So
Mine's a 22.
Okay, yeah.
2
14?
points of piercing.
2. All right. 14 also hits. Sorry.
5 points on my end.
Okay.
Hold on. I need to find. There it is. Okay. 1 point of damage.
All right. You know, every little bit helps. Kichiro, anything?
It was a 21 to hit,
That'll hit.
You make your attack with advantage. 'cause there's
and
an arrow on your shoulder.
that is 5 points bludgeoning.
Okay.
Fish for the crit.
Yeah, you can roll the d20 one more time. See.
Because
See
there's
if
an
you
owl
crit.
on your shoulder.
Yeah, the
Oh.
helpful owl.
Oh, that's right. Well, that one wanted to roll out of the box. That's fine. It's 21 again.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So you do 13 points of damage as he's just blasting past people as fast as his legs can carry him. Just kind of like, it's like watching like Bane run though. It's just like very heavy footfalls as he's just like boom, boom, boom across the floor. So he's looking rough. He's very bloodied. His undershirt is like ripped in a few spots. His cane is like, it has like a crack going down it just from how he was using it to block everybody. But yeah, he is still up and just standing there, like breathing heavily, sort of like ready for the next thing, but looking very frightened in the general direction of his barred criminal friend, who he thought was cool, but just turned out to be awful. All right, so then we are at. That was just Daz, correct?
Yes.
All right, we are at Mr. Light. Who is going to go straight up this pole. Y'all can't see him, but you know where he was. I mean, disadvantage, you can... I feel like it'd be a disadvantage to try and hit him. That's how that works on invisible people.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, he's gone straight up that pole, though.
That's a miss.
A miss. Anything from Dez? Faces are doing stuff? Nope. There's a whole kombucha lady story arc right there.
Yeah, it was.
Face turning.
All right. So he makes his way to the top of this pole using his movement. He is going to go ahead and just... Who does he want to attack? Who does he want to hit with his things that he has left? So he's concentrating on that one. He is just going to kind of sit up there and make himself as small as possible, as he is going to then go ahead and cast a Ray of Frost down at... Is the witch bolt still up?
Yeah.
All right, they're going to cast a Ray of Frost at you then, since you are still attached to their companion. All right, and Mr. Light is going to... That's the wrong thing. What am I hitting? This one right here. Ooh, and Mr. Light is getting a little bit hysterical as he comes back to being visible, firing off a witchlight. His makeup is running from tears and blood, and he absolutely whiffs it on this shot, and the ground next to you just explodes in a hail of like a little bit of frost. And that will be his turn. So then we have Kichiro, and then back to the top with Elio.
Okie dokie. And Ori's surrounded, right?
Or yeah.
We need to fix that problem. My choices are Kenku or Mime.
Kenku or the Mine, yeah.
For hilarity, let's go after the Mime.
Okay. So you have an owl on your shoulder. Would the owl be on the shoulder enough to go with?
I wouldn't stop it.
We'll say you both move. So just like in the way like birds kind of sway when you move with them, this owl just kind of like, mock speed or lurches back a little bit as you run forward to punch a mime. Put you both over here.
Cool. And am I still rolling with advantage for this?
Yeah, like you're now also flanking and stuff, so.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that is 22 to hit.
All right. Describe how you just KO this mime who is trying to stab your friend through an invisible wall.
I'll like walk up and like remember it was doing the mime thing, and I'll like screech to a halt, and I'll like knock on like where there's a window, open it, and like gesture and just bam, sock through the window.
I love
he-
this.
Absolutely, like, rises in the air very dramatically and, like, video game falls to the earth, just kicking up this dust after he bounces just a couple of times, and almost just like Night at the Apollo style, like, hooks reach out from underneath the walls of the tent and just kind of pull him off stage for possibly medical care. Maybe he's getting fired, who knows. All right, I already
Beautiful.
got him. But with that, we are back at the top of the round, but we will take a quick break and come back with the conclusion of this battle and see if maybe they're just going to wreck him on the next turn and just walk through a portal. But if you are joining us on Twitch, we will see you in 5 minutes. If you are joining us on YouTube, thank you for finding us on YouTube, and we will see you in a few days with the conclusion of this battle under the big top. BRB.